Terrorism, corruption, overpopulation, traffic congestion, global warming, waste disposal, ocean pollution are all big and important issues. They are so big, I cannot solve them. Corporate giants in the government should fix them. I don't know if I could help. Why do we think like that? What if I told you that your next-door neighbor walks to the local grocery store every day just to avoid the pollution caused by the vehicle Amazon delivers in? Seems like a stretch, right? I mean, how could that possibly solve the problem of pollution or climate change? My problem is that even if the people around you are taking incremental steps to solve world issues, you won't know about them until it becomes important enough to be covered by the New York Times or other giant news organizations. We are so accustomed to seeing the world view, the bigger picture, that we fail to realize that problems are solved when people work towards it. So why does the motivation to take that initiative need to come from another country when it's happening next door? Well, probably because your neighbor isn't broadcasting their efforts. How would they? There's no reporter to cover that. And there's no local news organization to share the stories of the community. And you know what? World issues and significant initiatives are more important. If you tell me about Instagram and Snapchat and that people share local stories through them every day, I would say that it's not enough. Because someone needs to organize and verify the truckload of news present on the web. And if you are among the 71% of Americans who think that local news organizations are doing well, aren't you mistaken? Here's our problem. Let me simplify it for you. Local news is collapsing. 1,800 local newspapers have shut down in the last 15 years. One of the reasons is that we don't care about having a local perspective. The same day that Pew Research published a report about what Americans think about the local news, Google released the news of collaborating with McClatchy to establish 3 local news organizations to get local stories. This January, Facebook committed to spending $300 million to support local journalism. In the midst of technological revolution and driverless cars, if the internet giants are investing in local news, that's supposed to mean something, right? The irony is that the companies which led to the decline of local journalism are now trying to save it. So how did we get to this point? Let's just say that in the last 20 years, technology has disrupted a 150-year-old industry. With limited resources and the increasing cost of finding and creating stories, local news organizations couldn't keep up with the change that took place in journalism. And their revenue has been at a decline. Digital advertisement took most of it. The state is such that they don't get ads from local businesses anymore because everyone is competing against Amazon. The restaurants don't publish ads because people go to Yelp or Google for those things. Local doctors, plumbers, carpenters are all found on Craigslist. Then, how would these local news companies sustain? With free information available everywhere, people are not willing to pay for the news. My appeal is for you to care about your local community and their stories. We don't want to miss the stories of our courageous firefighters, brave children, skilled doctors, and extraordinary mothers for the sake of a bigger picture. We should help them sustain, support them, and be their eyes. After all, it is your community.